So how I got into the images, um, as anyone who's in sales and in marketing, you're always looking for a way to market yourself with video, etc. And so I started working with Mid Journey in creating B-roll video for social media. So maybe I might use, I don't know, maybe I would have like a house, a kitchen, and I was creating different, kitchens and scenery and everything else and using it in Canva. And then it just went from there, from creating the images for marketing to creating those images that I'm doing right now. So that's pretty much where how I got started. And was that transition easy? Absolutely. It was very easy because before all of that, I've just been a creative all my life, very imaginative. I've written a fiction novel. So I have these, these scenes playing around in my head. And so that was a natural transition, into AI and images and video.
Nice.
Awesome.
Awesome.
You guys got any questions for Miss Kim?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I guess what would you say is one of your biggest wins? Like, if you're like us, I know there's you can't do without it, right? At this point now, right? So, what's your favorite feature, and what's one of your frustrations with AI?
Oh goodness, what isn't a favorite feature? I mean, so I don't. Okay, so if you're talking about it like a mechanical feature, I love the video portion. I love bringing things to life with the video. But if you're talking about just a benefit of AI is storytelling. Right now, when you're talking about branding and marketing, and that is my background, branding and marketing, people are leaning into storytelling. And so AI gives you the ability to be that storyteller. Um, right now, more than anything, because our stories are being muted, or at least they're trying to mute our stories, it is so critical that we have the tools that we need to tell our stories. And right now, we have access to everything to do just that. So that's one of the biggest things about the AI tools that I love. The one thing that I don't like is the unpredictability. It's unpredictable. People think that hey, can you do me and my daughter and we're sitting and then we're doing this and that, and I'm like, look, it don't work like that. It just doesn't. And I'm not about to sit there and frustrate myself trying to make it work like that. So it's the unpredictableness of it that I'm like, that I don't like about it. So yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I know that we sometimes deal with that on the image side also and trying to navigate that. Autumn, I know that you've had that experience in Unleashed. What do you think about that?
She said everything I needed her that I don't want to say everything you like she said everything I needed her to say. She did say everything that was I was literally thinking in that part. But I wanted to my I'm so excited for you to be on, and I had visited your site and everything. And I do have a question. So
Okay.
my question is, what inspired you to create the playground? Like
Wait, my pastime.
yes, what made
Okay.
you do that? Like step into that realm, because I know, like when I've seen your work before, but
Mhm.
then with you coming on the show, I really dug deeper, like the Harriet Tubman, all that. And I looked, I was like, wow, she just went straight for it.
Yeah. So, um, okay, my childhood shaped a lot of what you see. You know how they say that we're all big kids, at heart. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who has vision, anybody who is creative, really, to be honest, a lot of that is you dig deep for that,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so my childhood was Ebony magazine, Essence magazine, Jet magazine, Ebony Jet Fashion Fair fashion show. Living in Chicago, you're right. You know, living in Chicago, we've had some greats in Chicago. You know and I don't know how old you are, but I'm not afraid to tell my age. You know, I was a kid of the '70s, and so I lived through a lot of the pioneers, you know, and got to see a lot of that just through my great grandparents and my grandparents, you know, and what have you. And so a lot of that is in the work, but I was also a sci-fi kid too. And so and I was an only child for a very long time. And so what you see is a lot of what I saw watching television, you know, watching whatever, and not seeing us. That's the key, not seeing to us. You know what I mean? And it was like whenever one of those movies came out that we were in, it's like you grabbed onto it because you didn't know when another one was going to come up, you know. And you know, just seeing us in that science fiction, you know, era, you know, in that science fiction genre rather. And so that's where a lot of it comes from. If I had to think of what an ideal world for me, you know, we talk about Afrofuturism all the time. And when people hear the word Afrofuturism, they think of, you know, Wakanda. And that ain't that, yeah, that's one thing, but that's not the full scope of what Afrofuturism is, you know. And that's why I'm doing that Black History series, because everybody in that series that I'm featuring, they were Afrofuturists. They were Black people who saw themselves bigger than life. And they actually, you know, went after it. And so what you see, that playground pastime world, is if I could create a world that was, you know, that I envision, and how I see us, that's what it would be. Very futuristic, very advanced, but real familiar. Like, because you don't know what year it is when you look at it. Could be in the future, it could have been in the past. Who knows? You know. So that's where it came from.
Guys, I just have another. Thank you. You know I was busting out my inseams, right? You guys know I was busting out because you guys know that she was speaking to my inner creativity soul. I can breathe now, Kim. I can breathe because I looked at your name and like looked at your company's name, and I want to encourage everyone to go to her page. I mean, the fact that this is here waiting for us, I literally felt like, and yep, our awesome producer has it right there for you listed. I honestly felt like when I saw that name, I connected with it, and I'm being completely transparent. I felt like Saturday morning cartoons. I felt like something familiar. And I felt like us as Black women, like you didn't give it some, you know, like you gave it something that's like, this is home. This is where we're going to learn. And this is where I'm going to show you who I am. And I want to commend you on it because I saw the steampunk, I saw the beautiful shades of me, you, all of us here, because we're all different complexions. And I saw all of us in your in your site. So I really encourage, I think one of the things that I've noticed on with AI is with the AI part of it, the creativity part, a lot of the men support each other. Some of the women do, but the women who are real hard at it, and you're one of them, because you're completely cold with your work. Like, I love it. I encourage you all to go to her and look at it because I was blown away. Like, I put it on big screen. I even showed my daughter. I was like, look at this, you know. So I just want to say thank you for letting us know where that stemmed from. That was my main question, and I loved how, because I was going to say it blends Afrofuturism in it. So I love it, and I love how you gave the definition of that as well. Thank you.
One of the things that and listen, I don't knock anybody's work. I love to see what everybody is creative at doing, whatever it is that is your, your niche. Have at it and be great at it. For me, I wanted to do something that was reminiscent of a time where having on clothes was sexy and beautiful. And so if you notice, none of my images are overly sexual,
Mm-hmm.
but they're still beautiful. And everything is very respectful, but it still pulls you in. It
Mm-hmm.
still
Mm-hmm.
pulls you in. And every now and then I'll float back into reality, and I'll do some stuff that really reminds you of childhood, or reminds you of something, or is a political statement. So I gravitate. I try different things, and I also look at different other creators, and not necessarily creators that look like me. So I like to really pull in that knowledge, and I'm not scared to DM creators who don't look like me, and have conversations and say, how did you do that? Or what's your inspiration? Or or whatever. And I've gotten so much knowledge and support from just stepping out and doing something different and talking to different people.
Mm-hmm.
I love
I love
that.
that. I love
Um,
that. I love that. Thank
I
That's
you.
have a,
awesome.
I
Thank
have a
you.
question that I know my mom would want me to ask. And so this shout out to you, Mom. I didn't get to talk to you this morning, but hey, I got your question. So I did some digging. I understand that you're a Delta as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So my mom is also a Delta.